and I'm at the Resource Center, and there's one gentleman I get to talk to every now and then, and he is your disability rep, and that's Roy Rickster. Roy, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Now, I'm looking at this behind me, the ghosts of old disability claims. I can see what the theme is all about here, because I think this kind of scares and worries people about past things.
It does, and this is a question I get pretty often, is I filed for disability several times in the past. How much of an impact will that have on my future claim? First thing to recognize is that denials are common. Social Security denies roughly 2/3 of the initial applications nationwide that they receive.
Really?
So there is a high denial rate. And a past denial doesn't necessarily hurt your future claim. Sometimes it's really simple. There's some missing information, something that they needed, work history, for example. But there are a few things that you need to watch for when we talk about former denials. And one of those is going to be if there's some indication in the medical record that your condition has been static or stable for a long period of time.
Okay.
One of the things that makes me cringe is when I go into hearings and people say, my back has bothered me since I was 22. Well, it was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And you worked part of that time frame, so what changed?
Probably doesn't look good at just
Right.
that level.
So we got to make sure that we address the changes in our medical record. Degenerative conditions worsen over time. The fact that you've been denied and the financial struggle has continued worsens anxiety and depression a lot of times. And our age in general contributes to deteriorating health. So just as time progresses, we wear down.
Is it something where they're going to say, well, this is a normal progression because you're getting older?
Yeah, and really it doesn't really matter what the cause of your condition is most of the time.
Okay.
Anything that's a degenerative natured condition, you expect that you're going to wear down. Age has a factor in that. They're more concerned about what you can still do despite the condition than whether you can attribute it to some bang moment like a car accident or if it's something that's more time related like aging.
Okay, all right.
So another thing that comes up in the medical records is maybe in the past file, when you filed for disability before, you weren't cooperating with your doctors. You didn't follow medical advice. You didn't take the medication they prescribed, those sorts of things. We've talked about this before. They don't expect you to go under Frankenstein-like procedures.
Okay.
So, some surgeries have a high likelihood of success, like for example, a hernia surgery.
Right.
Others, like back surgery, not so much. But you've got to make sure you articulate to your doctors the reasons why you're reluctant to follow the course of care, to follow through with surgery.
Do they
for
ever
example.
look at cooperation as a thing insofar as appointments and things like that? If you're not feeling good, you really can't make it. But sometimes they're not cooperating.
Yeah, it really comes down to a motivation issue most of the time, right? If you're
Okay.
in chronic pain, you would be very motivated to try to get some sort of relief.
Yeah.
That relief comes from the medical profession.
Okay.
We would expect that you would put an emphasis on getting to those doctor's appointments, keeping those, and doing everything that you can do on your end to try to feel better. So most definitely judges look at that.
That's one of those things. All right. Here you
So
are.
how to brew up a better case? Well, first of all, you got to be clear in the records. So each time you go to the doctor, you have to be clear about the symptoms, clear about the frequency. You have to be very consistent. You want your file to read like your condition is stubborn and hard to treat. That's very important. And like we talked just a moment ago, you've got to be very proactive. You got to be involved in your care and constantly seeking some sort of remedy.
Not just trying to remember. Good idea to write things down, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I have a lot of clients that take in written notes to their doctors. In fact, some people leave their written notes at their doctor's office in case they forget to cover something. At least the doctor's aware of what that symptom looks
It
like.
almost sounds like it's a good idea to keep a journal.
Yes, and then ask for help. If you get a primary care doctor that's trying to take care of you, their course of care is not enough, you need something else, ask for those pain management referrals. Ask for those injections. Ask for your care to be advanced.
Yeah.
Again, it's showing that it's stubborn and hard to treat, but you're very motivated to fix it.
And you take a look at this QR code right here. This is another way you can ask for assistance. Talk to this guy, yourdisabilityrep.com. You can call, you can go to the QR code. And I started out kind of saying it's kind of spooky, but really a lot of things are just a matter of course. That's the way they are. But it's nice to have someone like you in the corner to walk you through those.
Just like when you were a kid, the dark is scary until you turn on the light.
That's
and the
about it.
light is information. So give us a call. We'll share some light and see if we can make things a little less spooky.
Sounds great, Roy. Thanks again.